Let's bring in retired Major General Denis Thompson. He's a former NATO task force commander. He's in Montreal today. General Thompson, good to see you. Your thoughts on this?
Good to see you as well, Todd. Well, my thoughts are I'm not really sure how Mr. Putin can retaliate in a grander manner than he already has done previous to this Ukrainian strike. So there has been a lot of pressure on Ukrainian air defense, hundreds of drones and missiles every night. And I would have thought that they were already firing them at Russia's capacity because the volume of fire is about 10 times larger than what Ukraine normally experiences. And that was before this attack. So how he would retaliate is, it's anyone's guess. However, he's lost some of the assets he would use for that retaliation. So it's going to be difficult for the Russians to mount an attack of a large scale.
It's been about 3 or 4 days since those drones attacked the bombers. Are you getting any indication of just how widespread the damage might have been? Because, we've sort of had wildly different reports coming in that maybe some bombers were destroyed, but others were only damaged. The Ukrainians are saying they took out more than 40 bombers. I mean, based on some of the context you have, or what you saw anyway, General Thompson, what do you think we might have seen here?
Well, the numbers are anywhere between 17 and 40 bombers destroyed and or damaged. Remembering that all these bombers are out of production. They haven't been in production for some 20 years. And these are aircraft that fire what are called air-launched cruise missiles, and in some cases, air-launched cruise missiles that travel at hypersonic speeds. Why that is important is because the only system that the Ukrainians have that can intercept hypersonic missiles is the U.S. Patriot system, which is why they're always clamoring for more interceptors in order to take these on. The Russians can still fire Iskander ballistic missiles, or they can fire missiles from their naval fleet, but most of their naval fleet in the Black Sea has been bottled up as a result of Ukraine's very wise use of unmanned sea vehicles. So it's, again, the weapon of choice is an air-launched cruise missile that travels at hypersonic speeds, and it seems as if a large part of that fleet has been damaged, and it's a fleet that's not necessarily repairable because it's been out of production for so long.
We're going to show the post that the president put up on social media, General Thompson, just for our viewers so they can get a sense. He says, I just finished speaking by telephone with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. The call lasted approximately an hour, 15 minutes. We discussed the attack on Russia's docked airplanes by Ukraine and also various other attacks that had been taking place by both sides. It was a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. At the same time, General Thompson, we're hearing the Russians are about to start or have already started a summer offensive. There were peace talks, lasted about 1 hour in Istanbul earlier this week between the two sides. What do you think we're going to see in the coming days, weeks, months, if anything different from what we've already seen?
I think it'll be business as usual, unfortunately, because the victims in all of this are the Ukrainians. The Russians will continue with their offensive. Their tactics haven't changed. They continue to use mass attacks against a well-dug-in enemy, and that's had the result that they've taken an awful lot of casualties and gained very little ground to show for it. But Mr. Putin still wants to at least take the 4 oblasts that he's annexed. So that would be the Zaporizhia, the Kherson, Luhansk, and Donetsk oblasts, some of which he has most of, but he hasn't taken all of them, so he can't even declare a limited victory. And I think really that's going to be the aim of his summer offensive, is to make sure he secures the oblasts, or the counties, if you wish, or provinces that he's already annexed. And we'll see where that goes. I don't see any revolution in their current tactics, and frankly, it's just going to create an awful lot more casualties, and he'll continue to pound the civilian population in an effort to demoralize them.
Denis Thompson joining us from Montreal. He is a retired Major General with the Canadian military, a former NATO task force commander as well. Thank you, as always, General Thompson.
Take care, Todd. Thank you.